Hey there, I'm Veronica and I am filming the beautiful Oak Alley Plantation today in rural Louisiana. It is a beautiful place. It is also a very sad place. It is a place of history. It is a place where we can learn from the mistakes of the past. We can also admire the beauty that was created, but it was created under such awful and sad circumstances. So it brings a lot of mixed emotions. Found myself very emotional during this visit, thinking about a lot of things, pondering a lot of things, finding a lot of perspective just on life in general. It makes you appreciate life in a whole new way, seeing such things. So I hope that you appreciate this setting. Let's get a nice view of the lovely old oaks behind me. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, obviously manifesting, because I know that's why you're all here. I am someone who has personally transformed my life through this idea of consciously creating, switching my focus, switching my mindset towards that of abundance, of love, kindness towards myself. I improved my self-worth, my confidence level, my ability to see myself as worth more, is able to have more. And now I travel the world, seeing places, having experiences that I could only merely dream about before. Now, maybe you're dreaming of a better life right now. Maybe you have no idea how to get that life that you were dreaming about so much. Well, I'm going to key you in on some secrets of things that worked for me, personal experience, so I hope you can benefit from that. Before we dive into that though, subscribe if you haven't already, check out my other content when this video is done, leave a comment below to help inspire others, ask questions. I frequently respond to comments on these videos. Okay, so my situation, my life, before I found out about conscious manifesting was quite awful. I had dreams of visiting places, like for example, places that contained history. I'm a history buff. So I dreamed of visiting places like this, but I never had the financial means, I never had the time, I never had the ability to actually make it come true. What finally changed for me was once I started seeing myself as someone who was actually able to have these kinds of experiences too. Maybe I just still didn't have the means to do it, but I emotionally acknowledged that if someone else was able to travel and to have a better life, well, I was really no different than them. I was able to actually have the same things, even though I still didn't know how, even though I still didn't have the means to do so, even though I was still working 3 jobs, even though I was still in debt. But I recognized that there were people that didn't have these limitations. There were people that were able to do more, to have more. So it stood to reason that, well, I'm a person too. I live on this earth too. They aren't lucky. They aren't different. They're just like me. So I started to see these people as role models as opposed to people I was jealous of. And this is really important. Like right now, if you are seeing friends around you getting married and you badly want to get married, instead of being jealous, see them as role models, see them as examples of why you can have this too, not why you are being exempt or omitted or tossed out from having experiences like this. So you are going to start seeing yourself as part of the life experience of being able to have good things, as opposed to someone who is defective or exempt or being pushed aside. So we stop identifying ourselves as the victim, as the person who is being pushed over or passed over. I know a lot of you sort of have this belief that you are destined to suffer. I used to. I didn't think there was another option, but there clearly was. I mean, I'm living proof that there was another option. Maybe you've been through a lot of bad things, a lot of things that are heartbreaking. I can identify with that. I suffered through the deaths of both of my parents, through a physically abusive relationship, through 3 bankruptcies, through 3 hurricanes. In 2004, there were 3 hurricanes that hit Florida, and that was devastating. That was something that greatly destroyed my home in a way where I was never able to rebuild there. But I overcame these things. And, having these sorts of experiences, they do make you stronger. I'm obviously not encouraging to want experiences like this. But give thanks that you have an appreciation of life in a way that someone who hadn't gone through these things doesn't. So give thanks for who you are. Start to raise your awareness that you are no different than the other people that have good things, that don't have suffering, that don't have traumatic experiences, that have comfort and love and healing. That you are no different from those people that are able to travel or who are able to buy nice things or give of themselves. Like when you have financial abundance, you can give to charities. You can give to others. So start to see yourself, start to almost in your mind, plan on these things. Plan on the type of things that you would do, the places that you would go, the kind of house that you would live in. And don't just say, I want to live in a $5 million house, but be realistic. What is your idea of perfect happiness? For me, it's not living in a $5 million house. For me, it's living someplace comfortable. Someplace that feels like home. Someplace that I've decorated in the most perfect way. Be very realistic. Don't think with limitations, but really project yourself where you would actually like to be. And daydreaming is good. But here's the thing. The difference between daydreaming and actually seeing something through is that when you are dreaming of this experience, you are also acknowledging that you may not know how you could have this, but you do pose the awareness that it is possible to have this. So you don't label it and say, well, I'm dreaming of this, but these are experiences that happen to other people. Because that's what I always did when I was living a hard life, when I was struggling, is I would dream of these things, but I wouldn't see them as things I could actually have. I would feel jealous. I would feel uncomfortable, almost like I would finish the daydream with, well, that will never happen to me. Well, that's not the kind of life that I'm living, or that's just not something that happens to people like me. I think that's another really good one, is you start to see yourself as the category of people who suffer, and you say, well, good things like that don't happen to people like me. Definitely omit that. Don't reinforce that. If that's something you've been saying, stop. Because you can be one of the people that has it good, that lives a peaceful life, that can be kind and good to others, generous to others, give of themselves. Start seeing yourself as someone who can actually attain these things. Project the kind of perfect life you would have. The perfect life isn't winning the lottery and sitting on your millions of dollars and doing nothing. But it's rather working a job you feel passionate about, where you are paid an amount of money that allows you to have wonderful experiences. It is about getting to have things that you don't have now, being able to be loved in a way that you maybe don't have right now. Whatever it is that you are trying to manifest, stop labeling it as something that people like you don't have. We do this a lot in terms of love. We think that good relationships just don't exist. Relationships have to be hard, especially if you are someone who has struggled a lot in love. You may be labeling the good relationships as things that only happen to the lucky few, and they don't happen to you. You can have the fairy tale relationship. You will appreciate it on a whole new level if you have struggled a lot in love. You can have these things, but it starts with this awareness, this expansion of feeling like You know, the people who have it are your role models. They're your proof that it's possible for you. They're not people that you are jealous of. And it's not an example of saying that you're going to be cheated and shorted throughout your entire life, but rather that you are going to be just like them and have that very same thing in whatever idea of abundance of happiness is your true heart's calling. Okay, so I hope this video could help. That is the Oak Alley plantation behind me. Look it up if you haven't already. If you're unfamiliar with the history, I feel like you will find it very eye-opening, very educational. It's very important, this history that happened in the South in the United States, how to learn from it, how to better from it, how to feel compassion for all of the people that suffered from it. I am Veronica. I'm happy to bring this information to you and pass it along to someone who could benefit from it. Leave a comment below to help others find strength, inspiration, even ask questions. I love to answer them. Subscribe to my channel. I have a ton of more amazing content that I know you will love and benefit from. And have an amazing day.